Hi there. So I'm going to try to explain something else that came to me like yesterday. More on this. If you watched my video the other day on it titled Intuitive Messages, this is kind of a continuation on that. I was telling a story of a vision that I had the other day of the absolute top of existence, basically creating everything and then creating itself a companion, but it only split itself 75-25 instead of 50-50, and it did not give this companion a role in the creation. So the companion got mad. Now, when the one created all these things, this was before duality and all this, but when the lesser one, as I've been calling it, got mad and stormed off, it created conflict, duality, and I had this written down. Conflict, duality, and free will. Okay? So he went to a corner of the universe. Okay, so the one made a universe, and we'll call it the one verse just because. Okay, so he made this. Okay, and so, but the and it had all kinds of worlds, beings, realms, different things. Okay, but nothing in it was his equal, and so he was very lonely, and so it split itself. It decided to split itself 75-25. And it went a 75-25 split and created the lesser. That's what I'm calling. And the lesser one figured out he was the lesser one, and he got really mad, and so he stormed off to a corner of the universe and he created his own reality. That's where we are. We're in there. Now there's multiple realities here. He split himself, okay, so we've got the lesser, and he split himself into 6 equal parts. Okay, and I'm not exactly sure, if these are gods or whom or what have you. I'm still getting this information, okay? But all of them together, because he's called the 6-headed beast. All of them together make source, what is dubbed as source, or the demiurge. Okay, but the one is going to be our actual supreme creator here, okay? This is the supreme creator. But the source is the demiurge, and it is also God. It is also Satan. It's the same being. And the Bible is kind of the story of that being. This being presumably it is consciousness itself, and there are dark parts and light parts. I mean, it's like it was the creation of duality. But in the one verse, these are worlds without stain. These are worlds that they don't have duality here, okay? And the beings in these worlds are very leery of everything in here. Like they're leery of the beings in here. Like they act like, that everybody in there is evil and stuff. But what I got this morning is that some of the beings in here were like, well, wait a minute. There probably are good spirits in there. I mean, the one is the lesser is a fractalization of the one, so it is a complete copy. Now, I question whether or not the one gave the darker parts of himself to the lesser. I don't know what the intention was when he did the split. Did he do an even split or did it? Well, I didn't do an even split. So were there other things with it? Obviously, we don't know. But okay. So they are the same being in the sense that they started that way, but then they fractalized. Now, a fractal is a complete copy of the whole, not just a piece, okay? So, like, creation exponentially expands. Hi, baby. Hi. Whether we can get back, whether consciousness can go back together, I get the answer that yes, when I do divination, I get the answer that yes, it can go back together, but I don't know how. Okay. And I don't even know if we'd want to. I mean, there are pros and cons of individuality. Okay. So, star seeds are beings that were in here that are like, wait a minute, there might be good spirits in there. The one, created him. The lesser is part of the one. He may not be evil, or those that just, basically what happened is these guys needed to talk this out instead of him storming off and getting mad, and they didn't handle it correctly. But until this fight is resolved, this is the whole spiritual war in the whole existence, is what I'm getting. Okay, I don't know. So anyways, so we're in here. So we're in here. We're in one of the worlds in here. And, there's this whole hierarchical realm and all these dimensions and everything. And everything we know is in here. So when the starseeds came in here, they've discovered that there are decent beings. There are beings with heart-centered consciousness here. And the plants and the animals are alive, and the crystals and the... there are a lot of trapped beings in here that don't deserve to be here, okay? And that are suffering immensely, and the consciousness itself, the consciousness in here is traumatized, okay? The pure consciousness that is in here. And there's all kinds of artificial, you got to understand, there's all kinds of AI, there's all kinds of fake stuff, all that's in here. And so these spirits, like us, we would like to go back to the worlds without stain. But here's what I think. A realm needs to be created in here for healing and reprogramming, teaching us our power, teaching us what we are, deprogramming, reprogramming, healing the traumatized consciousness. Because we're not ready to go into here. We can't just but if you go back through the tunnel of light and the reincarnation trap, and that keeps you here over and over and over and over again. Now, it is my comprehension that a spirit can traverse out of here, but it's a very risky trip. There are things coming at us the whole way. One guy that I know had an experience like that, a near-death experience, and he did manage to escape the tunnel of light, ended up in a pyramid, and the winged sun disk, the Egyptian winged sun disks, were actually like birds chasing him, to grab his soul. They really are. This is a prison. And when we die, that's our time to escape. Okay? So, anyways. But I think, these intuitive messages that we're getting and stuff, it's coming from here somehow. But I hope this makes sense.